Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam class, 11th of February, Wednesday. We'll be reading from Canto 10. Chapter 16, verse 54 to 67, and we'll be focusing on verse 64. First, we'll start with Mangalacharan prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Murire. Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, I should offer my respectful obeisances unto all, unto Nandarayana Rishi, the supermost human being, and unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasdev, the author. Nashtaprayashu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate uttamashloke bhavatir bhavati nashtaki. Returns in the classes on the Bhagavatam, and when entering of the service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. Loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable act. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Mitilam Yena Tasme Shri Guruve Namaha. I was in the born in the darkness of ignorance. To open my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. Mukam karoti vajana pangam laikite girim yat kripatam vaham vande Shri Guru Dina Taranam. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, the deliverer of the fallen souls. His mercy turns the dumb into eloquent speakers and enables the lame to cross mountains. Hare Krishna. Definitely need this last prayer. So we'll be reading from Canto 10, Chapter 16, which is the Krishna chastises the serpent Kaliya. So we'll be starting with the translations from verse 54.
Supreme Goswami said, thus praised by the Nagapatnis, the Supreme Personality of God had released the serpent Kaliya, who had fallen unconscious, his heads battered by the striking of the Lord's weapon.
Kaliya slowly regained his vital force and sensory functions. Then, breathing loudly and painfully, the poor serpent addressed Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God, with humble submission.
The serpent Kaliya said, our very birth as a snake has made us ignorant and constantly angry. O my Lord, it is so difficult for people to give up their conditioned nature, by which they identify with that which is unreal.
O Supreme Creator, is it you who generate this universe, composed of the variegated arrangement of the material modes, and in the process you manifest various kinds of personalities and species, varieties of sensory and physical strength, and varieties of mothers and fathers with variegated mentalities and forms.
O Supreme Personality of Godhead, among all the species within your material creation, we serpents are by nature always enraged, being thus deluded by your illusory energy, which is very difficult to give up. How can we possibly give it up on our own?
O Lord, since you are the omniscient Lord of the universe, you are the actual cause of freedom for illusion. Please arrange for us whatever you consider proper, whatever is, whether it be mercy or punishment.
Text 60. Sukadeva Goswami said, after hearing Kaliya's word, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who was acting the role of a human being, replied, O serpent, you may not remain here any longer. Go back to the ocean immediately, accompanied by your what is that?
If a mortal being attentively remembers my command to you to leave Vrindavan and go to the ocean and narrates this account at sunrise and sunset, he will never be afraid of you.
If one bathes in this place of my pastimes and offer the water of this lake to demigods and other worshippers as deities, or if one observes a fast and really worships and remembers me, he is sure to become free from all sin and creation.
Out of fear of Garuda, you left Ramanaka Island and came to take shelter of this lake. But because you are now marked with my footprints, Garuda will no longer try to eat you.
Sakadeva Goswami continued, my dear Kanye, having been realized by Lord Krishna to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose activities and wonderful Kaya joined his weavers in worshipping him, which great you joy and reverence.
Call your worship the Lord in the universe by offering him fine garments along with necklaces, jewels, and other valuable ornaments, wonderful scents and ointments, and a large garland of lotus flowers. Having thus pleased the Lord, whose flag is marked with the emblem of Garuda, Kalya felt satisfied. Receiving the Lord's permission to leave, Kalya circumambulated him and offered him obeisances. Then, taking his wise friends and children, he went to his island in the sea. The very evening following that, Yamuna was immediately restored to her assumed condition, free from poison and full of nectarian water. This happened by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who was manifesting a human-like form to enjoy his pastimes.
Hare Krishna. We'll be reciting the Sanskrit of verse 64. Shri Rishiruvacha Mukto Bhagavata Rajan Krishnena Adbhuta Karmana Tam Pujyam Samudha Nagapatnyasya Sadaram. Yes, you were there.
Shri Rishiruvacha
Shri Rishiruvacha
Mukto Bhagavata Rajan
Mukto Bhagavata Rajan Krishnena Adbhuta Karmana Tam Pujayam Asamura Nagapatnyasya Sadaram.
Shri Rishiruvacha
Shri Rishiruvacha
Mukto Bhagavata Rajan
Mukto Bhagavata Rajan Krishna Bhuta Karmana
Tam Pujyam Asamuda
Tam Pujayam Asamuda
Nagapatnyasya Sadaram
Nagapatnyasya Sadaram.
Shri Rishiruvacha
Shri Rishiruvacha
Mukto Bhagavata Rajan
Mukto Bhagavata Rajan Krishnera Bhuta Karmana
Tam Pujayam Ashimuda
Tam Pujayam Ashamuda Nagapatnyasya Sadaram
Mukto Bhagavata Rajan
Mukto Bhagavata Rajan
Krishna Bhukto Karmana
Krishna Bhukto Karmana Samuda Nagapatnyasya Sadaram. Synonyms altogether. Shri Rishi Uvacha, the sage Sukadev said, Mukta, freed, Bhagavata, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rajan, O King Parikshit, Krishna, by Lord Krishna, Adbhuta, Karmana, whose activities are very wonderful, Tam, him, Pujyam, asa worship, Muda, with pleasure, Naga, of the serpent, Patnya, the wives, Cha, and Sa, Adram, with reference. Translation altogether. Sukadev Goswami continued, Dear King, having been released by Lord Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose activities are wonderful, Kalia joined his wives in worshipping him with great joy and reverence. Purport. Someone. Okay, give you a chance.
Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments as follows on this verse. The word Adbhut Karmana indicates the Lord's wonderful activities of saving the residents of Vrindavan from Kaliya, saving Kaliya himself from Garuda, and bestowing grace upon the victims of violence and the committer of that violence. The word Krishnena, by Krishna, indicates that because Kaliya's wives were great devotees of the Lord and offered him loving affection, Krishna withdrew Karsharam, both Kaliya's offense against the Lord's devotee Garuda and that against the residents of Vrindavan, who were very dear to him.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So, there were 67 verses from this chapter, and we might have 5 to 6 classes on this chapter, so might everyone know the story, right? So, it's the same that there was a small lake, and there Kaliya came. Why? Because he was living in an ocean, but there Garuda. So then their fight happened, and then he came to this lake, which was a part of Yamuna. And then it was under the land of Vrindavan. So at that time, because Kaliya was very poisonous, even the air above the lake, because of that, even if some birds pass through that, they die. So because of that, things were happening. So everyone was wondering what is happening. Then Krishna got to know that Kaliya is here. So Krishna went, and then he just tied his dupatta on his, right? And cloth. Yeah. And then he jumped into the lake. And then everyone was like, oh, we also want to save. And then all the gopis, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Maiya, everyone came and they started that we also go. If we cannot save Krishna, at least we'll try our best to save Krishna. So they tried their best to go to the lake, but then Lord Balram, he knew what is happening. This is a pastime. Lord is doing a Ras Leela, a Leela. So then Lord Balram stopped everyone. So after that is the same, and then Kaliya was having more than 1,000 hoods. The prominent ones were the first 101 hoods, and then Krishna danced. And then Krishna's feet were red because of the jewels which Kaliya was wearing because of that. And then Kaliya surrendered to Lord because of the prayers of Nagapatnis, the wife of Kaliya. So we all know these stories of Srimad Bhagavatam, not even if all, but we all have that knowledge, or we know about these stories. But every time we gather for spiritual discourses or Srimad Bhagavatam classes, we try to always think that I want to know something new which I was not aware before. So that is not the motive of these spiritual gatherings. Then it means Srila Prabhupada, he doesn't have to be in these gatherings because he knows everything. But still he used to listen his disciples' classes. And but why we sit in these Srimad Bhagavatam classes and spiritual discourses? Because we try our best to be Krishna consciousness by attentive hearing of the Srimad Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavad Gita, or any talks which includes Krishna and Gaur Leela. Yesterday Nityananda Prabhu gave a very wonderful class in Gaur Leela. So it not be that much good, but yeah. So we always try, may or may not gather new information, but definitely, although information is old from these classes, it causes great transformation. So our main motive is try to get transformed from these spiritual gatherings, not only for new or important or less known information which we gather from these classes. So I had this question while preparing for this class, that why do we repeatedly repeat these pastimes even if we know, like this is very popular. We even have seen these pastimes in cartoons. in India, anime if no one knows, then why we do repeatedly doing some artis, we do same Guru Puja, same Guru Vandana, and same paraphernalia they are using, same mantra we are doing, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So why do we do that? This helps us in tune our consciousness in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada said once, first we have to be conscious to get Krishna conscious. So I heard this quote from maybe S.V. Keshwar Swami Maharaj. He said that mind believes what we repeat. So it is a very strong quote that mind believes what we repeat. So it's the same as Maha Mantra. Even if we repeat the Maha Mantra daily, at the time of death, if we cannot remember Krishna, Krishna will remember us. There have been a lot of stories according to this. So we all know Srila Prabhupada, and we also know Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj. So he started a magazine at that times named Nadia Prakash. So he started that magazine. So he started publishing daily. So some people came, they asked, why are you publishing this magazine daily? You will not have that much content so that you can post it daily for years. It will be finished soon. But then Srila Saraswati Thakur Maharaj replied that this is nothing. I am writing this once in a day for now, but I can write it every minute. But you guys are very fallen. You cannot read that much. That's why I'm writing only one page in this magazine daily, Nadia Prakash. So there is a lot of content in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. This Gaur Leela. It's like Krishna Leela and Gaur Leela, there is no difference. But Krishna Leela is like there's an ocean, and at the shore it's Krishna Leela, and then inside the deep ocean it's Gaur Leela. So that same particles, when the water comes to the shore, it takes Krishna Leela particles and takes it to the deep ocean and then it's very amazing. I very like this example. And when I first came to Krishna consciousness, I was not at all fan of Mahaprabhu. I was like, who is this guy? These two guys standing here and there. Whoever is coming from that background, they knew. But coming from North India, you don't know about this. If you're coming from the east side, which is West Bengal side and other, you might know this, even if you don't worship the Lord. And I was not aware, but then we got to know. And then the main thing is that even if I was not aware that, there is some Nityananda Prabhu, there is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, still, it is only their mercy that we came to Krishna consciousness. Nityananda Prabhu is very merciful. Recently we had Nityananda Taroshi, and we had really wonderful classes by our Kalakanta Prabhu. And then in the evening, Namasanda Prabhu was very nectar. And Kalakanta Prabhu just mentioned all the yugas, all the avatars of Krishna. And then it was very wonderful to just hear that. It was a very good Harikatha. And then just remembered once Srila Prabhupada said that it was very easy to preach in USA. Anyone knows why? Why it was very easy to preach in USA? Prabhupada said this once. Why?
Because people in US are like blank people, and in India they are like English people.
Okay. Anyone else? There is a verse, it's a very famous verse. Yeah. So it was like, Prabhupada was like, they were half done. They were Sarva Dharma Pratyaja. They have left all dharmas. I just came and gave them the Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. So Prabhupada said this was very easily. But it was Srila Prabhupada's humility. We all know the pastimes, how Srila Prabhupada used to cook for a lot of devotees. He used to give Bhagavatam classes. He used to chant his own rounds. He used to chant for his disciples he's going to giving the beads so that they can get initiated. He used to cook the same food. He used to teach how to cook prasadam. He used to teach deity worship. He taught everything. He was doing everything. And it was a lot. We cannot measure Srila Prabhupada's sacrifices that he did. At age of 69, he came with 3 heart attacks in Jaladuta. It was not easy. And there is a story of how Chaitanya Charitamrita was written. So we all know Prabhupada stopped in between the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Right now, the purports we are reading are by Prabhupada disciples. And Prabhupada stopped it. Why? Because once Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj said, if there are floods, there is only 3 books to save. We all know Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then he went even higher. If we need less weight on our boat, we have to throw Bhagavad Gita. But we'll save Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. He went even higher. If we have to throw one more book to decrease the weight, we have to throw Srimad Bhagavatam. But we will be never leaving Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because everything is inside Chaitanya Charitamrita. So the story was like Srila Prabhupada was going to Australia, and then I can't remember his assistant at that time. It was some Maharaj, but I can't remember. So Prabhupada asked, "Where are the books? Why are you not printing the books?" And then he was like, how to give a reply? I am with Srila Prabhupada all the time. I don't know about what is happening, what the books are not. Then Prabhupada said, Prabhupada was going to Australia. Then Prabhupada, in the flight while going to Australia, he said, book a meeting in Mayapur while we going back from Australia. We'll go to Mayapur, we'll do a meeting on this. So while they landed, the first thing was for the assistant to write a letter, to send it, and to organize a meeting so that all the Srila Prabhupada disciples who were helping in creating these wonderful literatures, so they have to gather there in Mayapur for this meeting. Prabhupada came to Australia, preached there, went back, and then the first day, the welcome lecture of Prabhupada was on this, that this books, that we have to print books. And then one of the persons said that, Prabhupada, we thought of printing books as we'll print one book in 4 months. 1 book in 4 months, which is like Srimad Bhagavatam. How many books we have in Srimad Bhagavatam? 17? 18. Okay, 18. So 18 books. So I think so at that time it was 17 maybe, because in the story it was 17. So, or what, 18, whatever. So then he said we'll print 1 book in 4 months and then we'll just continue it. So Prabhupada said, I don't have that much time. Prabhupada was in his end of Leela. So Prabhupada said, then that guy said, he just decreased, like how Prabhupada decreased from 32 Hare Krishna Mahamantras to 16 rounds. So then he decreased to 4 months to 2 months. I will print 1 book in 2 months. Then Prabhupada said, that will be more than 2 years. I am not going to survive for 2 years. Prabhupada knew how he is going to survive and how. And then Prabhupada said, 2 months, 17 books. And then everyone was like, 2 months, 17 books. It's not possible because, but Prabhupada was like, I have to do. Prabhupada was like, I'm doing all the recordings at night and you just have to translate it. You cannot do that much. And then everyone was there, and those 60 days, in those 60 days, Chaitanya Charitamrita was written, our Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then this means that the disciples were sincere of Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada had that power in his Vani, that Guru Mukha Padma Vakya, then that thing. And then according to this, in Kali Yuga, in Dwapar Yuga, Krishna had that Bansuri. And in Kali Yuga, that Bansuri incarnated as Mridanga. So we sing Kiva, Shankha Vaje, Ghanta Vaje, Madhur, Madhur, Madhur Vaje. And then it's that Mridanga has now taken the form of, vice versa. So according to this, Sripad Andhra Prabhu once in his class, he gives an analogy that book distribution is like Krishna's flute. Book distribution is like Krishna's flute to attract material people. How Krishna was attracting others, all the gopis and all the Vrindavan Vasis by his flute. And even if he doesn't play his flute, still everyone was astonished to him. Oh, he's very cute. He's like this because he was God. He's all attractive. And then Andhra Prabhu said, and Nam Sankirtan is like rasa dance. So once we have spread the books of Srila Prabhupada to invite people into Krishna consciousness, then our main thing is letting them stay in Krishna consciousness. And how we can do that? Not by telling them these strict four regulatory principles, but once Bhakti Swami Maharaj said that new persons come, don't tell them about these four regulatory principles. Just let them eat prasadam and dance with them. And that's how I think so everyone starts their journey. That's how I started my journey. Only prasadam and then only dancing, and then I just came to Krishna consciousness and everything happened. Then once they're inside, they'll not leave and they'll by themselves start following these regulatory principles. So one more pastime is like Hayagiriva Prabhu, Prabhupada disciple. So in that time he found the property of New Vrindavan. So he told to Srila Prabhupada that Srila Prabhupada, I founded this very good property in West Virginia and will be going to build New Vrindavan here, which Prabhupada wanted the farm community. So they started building it, and then Srila Prabhupada wanted that Hayagriva should become the temple president. Hayagriva Prabhu knew this, but he doesn't want to become temple president. So then Hayagriva Prabhu prepared all the notes that when Prabhupada will come, he'll say me this, I have the reply ready for Prabhupada. Prabhupada tell me this, Prabhupada sorry, and this and that and this and that. And then he wrote all things down, and then Prabhupada came. And then Prabhupada visited New Vrindavan while it was getting built. And Prabhupada asked, Hayagriva, I have one order for you. And then Prabhupada said, I want you to become a sannyasi. So Hayagriva Prabhu was like, this is out of syllabus, right? It's out of syllabus. I thought the temple president, okay, but then I will be getting married, and then Prabhupada just said, you become a sannyasi and you preach. And then he was like, no, Prabhupada, this is even more difficult for me. And then Prabhupada was saying something, he was saying something. But Prabhupada is like Prabhupada, right? We cannot compare with him. So at that time, then Hayagriva finally said, okay, Prabhupada, I cannot be sannyasi, but whatever else you say, I will be doing, but not this sannyasi thing. And then Prabhupada said, you become the temple president. So it's like Krishna Bhakta is very chatur. It's like Krishna Bhakta is very chatur. So Prabhupada knew that he is going to deny this, that I'm not going to be this vice president of this temple or like president of this temple. Then Prabhupada just put a googly that, okay, you know what, you want this, and then he declined from there, and then he matches the level Prabhupada wanted from him. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us the biggest gift, which is Nam Sankirtan. We did a very good bhajan in the morning, and so there was a story like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chanting near a river, and in the river there was a crocodile. I don't know if someone knew the story. Still listen it, please. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chanting near a river, and then in the river there was a crocodile. And crocodile heard it, the chanting of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is not like our chanting, it is like Shuddhanam. We know that how do we chant, we are self-aware of that. And then that crocodile just heard this chanting of Mahaprabhu, and then he transformed into a 5-year-old guy. He came outside of the river. He thanked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that thank you Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that because of your holy name I came to this human form of life. Now I can chant your names and now I can go back to Godhead. And then now the story starts. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, why you are saying me thank you? I was chanting, you were not chanting. And then he was like, the boy started telling the story that how he became a crocodile. So this was Kali Yuga, right? Mahaprabhu was in Kali Yuga. And in Satya Yuga, that same crocodile, he was there. He used to be very mischievous guy. So at that time, he got a seizure at that time, and then he used to cut his hair and everything. And then he saw once a Muni sitting and meditating, and then he thought he has a very big beard. It will be difficult for him to, manage that while he's doing this preaching and doing this meditation stuff. So I'll just help him by cutting that. So that Muni was in Samadhi at that time. And what worse to them is the Muni was the Durvasha Muni. It's like the Durvasha Muni, you touch him and then curse is ready. You don't have to wait. The Durvasha Muni is like that kind of personality. So that boy came, cut the beard of Durvasa Muni. Then while he was in Samadhi, then he got up and then he was like, I curse you. He didn't listen to that boy, that why I wanted to help you, but that he just cursed that you're going to be crocodile, and in Kali Yuga, someone will come and with their holy name of chanting of the holy name, you will be back to this human form of life, and then you can go back to Godhead. So the conclusion of this story was holy name gave the boy his original form. Similarly, holy name is giving us the original form, which is Krishna's servants. Yeah. So one more thing is, our God is Krishna is. We cannot compare Krishna with any other god or like any demigod, because he's first of all Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's all attractive, very nice, everything proper. And then the thing is, like, while Mahabharata was happening, Krishna was the charioteer of the Arjuna. At that time, what was the age of Krishna? Anyone knew?
24.
He's in 80s.
Huh? It was 96 at that time. Krishna was 96, and Krishna doesn't get old. We know that Krishna is a Kishore, Ramji was a Kishore, so they don't get old. But think, at the age of 96, he's driving a chariot, and then at that time, there was no indicator. Okay, Arjuna put an indicator, Krishna go left, Krishna go right. No. Arjuna has to whip. Arjuna has to kick Krishna on his right shoulder, that means turn right. On his left shoulder, that means turn left. So Krishna was helping Arjuna while having the kicks of Arjuna. So it's like, that's why our Lord is very great. That is our Lord who we worship. It's like, Sai Bhakta Dhanya Yena Chade Prabhura Charna, Sai Prabhu Dhanya Yena Chade Nijajana. So, Sai Prabhu Dhanya. Prabhu is very Dhanya. Why? Sai Bhakta Dhanya. Why Bhakta is very Dhanya? Because he Yena Chade Prabhura Charna. He never leaves the lotus feet of Krishna. And Sai Prabhu Dhanya Yena Chade Nijajana. Why Lord is very merciful? Why Lord is very Dhanya? Because Yena Chade Nijajana. He never leaves his devotees. It's like very good verse I heard in Bhakti Shastri. I was like,
What is the reference?
CC Ante Leela 446 maybe. And then it's like holy name is everything for us. Prabhupada once said 90% of our spiritual advancement is from chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And we also know Krishna is non-different from his names. So once Prabhupada said that the secret is there. He showed his bead bag. Then he said, secret is there. If you want to make advancement, take it. And it is like, when we start chanting, first it's like very good. We feel very good when we initially we start chanting. It's like the free premium we got from Apple Music of 3 months, right? 3 months you're chanting very nicely. Everything is going very perfectly. Your life is going perfectly. You're chanting very nicely. I think Krishna consciousness is for me. You have that thing in your mind. The 4th month starts. You get all the dust, pain, sneezing. Why? Because you are now Cheto Darpan Marjanam, the first verse of Chishashkatam. Yeah. And then it's like whenever we just, even materially, if we clean a very dusty place, a very dusty room, when we clean, dust will arise. Because of that, we'll be going through sneezing, we'll be going through pain, or it's very difficult to clean it. And while cleaning, you'll be having sore throats, other problems. And then, but why it is very important? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wrote it. It is going to happen once you start chanting, Chaitanya Darpana Marjanam will happen. Now it depends on you, how fast you clean the room, how slow you clean the room. The more attentive you chant, the more fast you can clean the room. So there were 3 P's of japa. I think so. By Radhesham Prabhu, in a japa talk, he said 3 P's. Like first P is the posture, how we sit or how we stand, and then the second P is like pronunciation, how we pronounce, and the third P is prayerful mood. We should have the prayerful mood. So these 3 things are very important while doing japa. You have a prayerful mood, that Krishna, I want your mercy. What is the meaning of Hare Krishna Mahamantra if someone would like to share? Go ahead.
Oh, Radharani, O Krishna, please send me free personalities.
Yeah. So what is that? It is not like, hey Radharani, hey Krishna, please help me. No, right? It's a prayerful mood. So that's why prayerful mood should be there. And posture is like how we sit, how we stand, and it doesn't matter you're chanting while sitting or standing or while walking. But the main thing is how you're behaving at that time. For example, Krishna is like, it's like the Lord. We should have, whenever we see Krishna, we should bow down. But Krishna is same as his names. We cannot always be Dandavat and chanting. That will be like sleeping and chanting. Right? So even if we walk but we have to think in our mind as materially that, for example, a CEO of our company is there walking with us, sitting with us, and we are talking with him. So how are we gonna behave while he's there? Are we gonna be very respectful, very prayerful, or like very rude? So it depends. Are you talking with him and you're watching your phone at that time? So it depends. And there was a line by Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, very, very good line. Please listen if very attentively. The verse round you chant is better than the round you do not chant. Even if you, the verse round you chant is better than the round you do not chant. Sometimes we think situations are like that. You cannot be attentive in your chanting. You have to be doing services all the time. There is no one else to do those services, or not even services. Even if you are working materially, sometimes there are some situations you have to work more than 8 hours and you're working 16 hours or 17 hours a day. You don't have time to chant. You have to sleep too. You have to make food for yourself if you're living alone or something. Then at that time, even the worst round is better because you have at least completed your 16 rounds. You at least showed the Krishna your sincerity. I at least chanted my rounds, even though I was inattentive in that. So even if you cannot be inattentive, just don't skip the rounds. That no, either I'll do very good rounds or either I'll do no rounds. No. Krishna will not accept only the perfect people. Harinam initiation, why is Harinam initiation? Harinam initiation is not like you have to be perfect before Harinam initiation. Harinam initiation is that you come and then you get perfect for the second initiation, which is Brahman initiation. So, 8:20. Okay, so I'll just end with one small story that once Yamaraj came to Jagannath Puri to take darshan of Jagannath ji, and then he came and then he saw first Garuda was there. He offered his respectful obeisances to Garuda, and then Yamaraj saw a parrot, saw a sparrow there. Yamaraj was watching like this, and everyone else is watching, it's good. But if Yamaraj is watching, It's not good, right? Because Yamaraj is going to take you with themselves. If Yamaraj is watching it, or Yamaraj is staring at you. So Yamaraj was watching, and then at the same time, Garuda had the thought, he's watching at my sister. My sister is going to die. So then Yamaraj, after staring at the sparrow for some time, and then he went into to take darshan of Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Rani. And then at that time, Garuda, he thought very good that, oh, he was staring at sparrow. I'll just take sparrow from here and I'll put her in a safe space so that Yamaraj cannot take. And I can, and then Garuda took the sparrow and took to Mansarovar, which was very far from there. And then a small bird cannot go that fast there. So Yamaraj came out. He was looking there, here, there. And then at that time, Garuda was like, what are you looking, right? What are you looking for? And then he said, I was looking for a sparrow who was there. He was like, I took that sparrow and I took to Mansarovar. And then there was a tree, and in that tree there was a hole. I put that sparrow there so that she can be safe, because I saw you were staring at her. And then Yamara said, oh, Krishna, I was thinking that this sparrow is here. According to my calculations, she should be in Mansarovar because it's the time of death. It's the time of death. And then he was like, Garuda was like, okay, we cannot change our destiny, whatever is going to happen. But still, Harinam is one of the top things. We should never stop, even if you are at situations sometime. So let Krishna take care of you. He doesn't make mistakes in his plans, right? So we might make mistakes in our plans, this and that. And whatever is your situation is best for you to do your sadhana. And sometimes we think, oh, he's working 9 to 5, very good. I am not getting off on Saturdays and Sundays. He's working 9 to 5. He's going to temple on Saturdays and Sundays. He's serving there. He has a very good schedule that he can maintain his sadhana very properly. I cannot do that. My schedules are like up and down. Sometimes it's evening, sometimes it's night, sometimes it's morning. I cannot breathe. I cannot do my sadhana properly. We start comparing. But Krishna has given everyone the situations they have to go through to prove their sincerity to Krishna. If you cannot prove, still Krishna will be there. That we have that thing. Even if you cannot do your sadhana properly, other things, still Krishna will be there to help you, because He is our eternal Father. He's taking care of us since time immemorial. He will take care in future too. But now that is on us, if we want to go back to Krishna soon or not. So I believe we'll be ending here. We can open for some discussions. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Very well structured, Prabhu. Very, very enjoyable. It was very good. And I have two related questions. I think it's kind of like a one question.
Anyone can answer, okay, if I don't know the answer.
No, it's personal for you.
Okay.
So one thing is that you were staying in the temple for a while, now you moved out. How would you say, how do you find a difference in terms of, we went to your work the other day, where you work. So you have a lot of friends or people who you meet. How is it different than being with devotees? And second part of the same question is that when you were staying here, now you're not. So you tell us, how should we be with each other here? How can we be better? And if you have any feedback on what we did right or wrong.
So I heard in my Bhakti Shastri that either there is devotee association or there is no devotee association. There is nothing in between, first of all. Either you are with devotees, either you are not with devotees. Don't tell me I am with the devotees and I am not that. Because the main thing is, sometimes we think I'm getting too much into Maya, too much into lust, too much into anything else, too much into eating this food, I have that craving. But the problem is you. You have given that freedom to your mind. you have given that freedom. The more you give the freedom to your mind, the more mind will take you away from Krishna. So we have to be not give freedom to the mind. So now coming to personal experience, went out to temple in December. First December month, first 8 to 10 days were very good. Very good. I was feeling I have a lot of time. But you should also not have a lot of time. You should not have any free time. One of the sannyasis in our movement said that if you have time, that is destruction for you. If you have free time, that is destruction for you. If you have time you're utilizing in Krishna, that is perfect for you. So whenever you have free time, try to go somewhere with devotees, chant. Chanting 16 rounds should be there. If you go outside, if you have started doing 16 rounds, don't stop them, even if you stopped reading and everything. As a lot of devotees, when I went out, that my sadhana just dropped a lot when I came out of temple, because my work schedule is like sometimes it's ending at midnight, then I go to bed at 2 or 1. You cannot wake up early, and even if you wake, it's not going to be sustainable in your bhakti, right? So you have to be sustainable in your bhakti. That is also main thing. Even if you are not that strict with your sadhana, at least be sustainable. So doing those 16 rounds are very important. Just don't skip any of the round in any day, even if you cannot read and not hear to anything, just that. And recently when I was having this problem, cannot hear anything, because I came to Krishna consciousness to just hear these lectures. I was attracted to Krishna through his glories. So I came to Krishna consciousness because I was too much into Shravanam. Not reading, but too much into Shravanam. And then since now is very good, but when I moved out from temple, I was unable to hear any class attentively or normally, even normally. I was not able to. I was not even clicking on that classes. I was watching YouTube. Don't have Instagram, I was watching YouTube shorts. That much thing. So to control this, asked a lot of questions from senior devotees who are doing who have been in this movement for so long. Asked Maharaj, other devotees too. Then one of the devotee helped me that hearing is very important, he said. And the first thing, the 9 limbs of bhakti, the first one is Shravanam, right? So Shravanam should be very important. And Shravanam is not only listening to lectures. Shravanam is also the Shravanam when you chant, you hear the same thing in your ears. So how you can chant attentively when you can hear attentively? How you can hear attentively when you pronounce attentively? So when you pronounce attentively, you have to speak clearly. So these things are very synchronous. So it's very important to chant, which I can say from my perspective, if I would have stopped chanting, then it would not have been like this. I was doing this, doing that, and then recently from past days I've seen some changes that, okay, I'm getting back on track. It will take time, but yes, from this.
Second part of the question was that we all live here together. Do you want to tell us something?
Yes. So while living here, you will have a lot of fights. I can say you might have misunderstood someone. Then, but still, these guys are way far better than the people who are outside. Just think that. There are how many people in Toronto, right? And how many people in this midtown? How many people in this temple comes on Sunday? How many people comes for daily morning program? And how many people are living in this temple, giving their full time to Krishna? So that matters. They are doing a lot. Even if you cannot see them serving, they are serving. They're giving their time. And if they cannot, that is okay. Their past deeds might not be that strong. Your might be, right? So when I was in temple starting, in initial first month maybe, I was comparing myself with others. How can this guy who just recently joined is chanting that nicely and I cannot? I had this thought. And when you compare yourself with someone, that is also falling down. So I don't want it to fall down. Even though I'm already on a fallen stage, how can I fall down from this stage? But so I asked, I think so at that time Punyashavana Prabhu, and then he gave me a very good answer that it might be that the other person you are comparing with, he might have done 20 years of his life. He might have spent in Krishna consciousness last age in his last life, and you might have only spent 2 years. So just think in that way. If someone came recently and they are very much into Krishna consciousness, even than you, sometimes devotees have shared that they brought someone to Krishna consciousness, they are practicing it from last 15 years or something. Someone comes in 5 years, they are top of them in knowledge, in their strictness and everything. So that is their prior deeds that they did. So yeah, I believe ups and downs will be there here. Obviously you'll have that mood swings too, here, that you don't want to talk to this person and that person. That's okay. You don't have to talk with everyone, but you don't have to ignore everyone too. Give your best, that you sit with everyone, hear to them. Just hearing, also Shravanam, hearing their problems, just hearing someone's problem is big relief for the people who, the one who is sharing. So yeah, I think so. Spending time together, even if you cannot be always Krishna consciousness, just talk about some life, ask about some normal questions. You're doing good job. You were doing good job before, materially too. So if someone has a question, they ask you, you just give them the answer. Okay, this and that, this and that. Just sharing thoughts is very important, and devotee friendship is very important. If you don't have devotee friends, very difficult to survive. I came to temple to get recharge, so that whenever I go back for a week, if I cannot come back, I stay the full, because when you plug the charger in your phone, right? So it's getting charged. So right now I'm getting charged. I'm here with you, wonderful devotees. And when I'll be going back, it's like I've removed my charger pin, because charger is only here. It's not somewhere else. So yeah, try to be in association of devotees even if you go out. Cannot physically, virtually, but be there for each other. Okay, Hare Krishna. We'll be ending. Hare Krishna.